I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here at Gallagher's Gym, delighted to have with me former world champion and British legend, Bury's finest, Scott Quigg.
I said we'll go with Bury's finest.
World champion?
I mean legend, going a bit too far. Though.
World champion?
Okay, but no legend.
You are a legend in my eyes. Scott, how are we doing?
All good, yeah. All good. Keeping busy. Enjoying being in the gym. Enjoying my time.
You look in good shape.
I still train every day. I train here before I get there. 6:30 in the morning, I'm up. Before I do my own training, then I'm in there training the lads. So, keeping fit.
Scott, sometimes when fighters retire, they almost have like so much time spare because you're so used to having camps after camps, right? And you almost lose that routine and regimen, right?
Yeah.
How have you coped?
No, it was difficult. You know, so when I first parted in, as you say, for so many years, you've got a purpose. You've got a regimented routine. So you get up, you go to the gym. You know exactly what you're doing. I retired, and all of a sudden, got all this time on my hands, and it was. You don't know where to fill it. You know, you think, well, what do I do? You end up just going to, well, this is me, and a lot of fighters do, because you see when they retire they end up putting weight on, and so I was just going to food shop, to food shop, to food shop. I was come back home, sat my ass all day, and before you know it, I was just over 13 stone. Like, and for me, don't with a t-shirt on and stuff like that, I look like a little tank, but fucking hell, excuse my language, but I was. And that's the thing. There was no structure to my life. There was no routine. There was I was lost, and so it was a bit of a uncomfortable, sticky patch, to be honest with you, because you think, where am I going now? What's my purpose in life? And obviously, started getting myself fit again. Started training, just so I was in a better place mentally, physically. Went out to Dubai for 3 or 4 months, just went out there training as if I was fighting, and just got my head back, thinking clever, thinking straight, making better decisions, and now I'm in a very good place.
What is your kind of role in the gym?
Just number 2. Like I say, I'm in here. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy the thing, and there's no one better to learn from than Joe. So obviously, he knows me as well, and obviously he wouldn't. He knows how much I studied boxing, and obviously he knows me. So it's like for him to give me the opportunity to come in, learn, being in around the experience, him give me the advice that I need to become into what he's achieved as a trainer and a coach. So it's I'm enjoying my time and I'm learning all the time.
You know what, Scott, that is actually quite good to see, because I know obviously you left Joe for a bit, you went to LA, you moved there with Freddie Roach, and sometimes there could be bitterness because you left, but obviously I know you came back, you fought John Joe Carroll, that which was I was at your fight last time, and you were back with Joe, but it's good to see that Joe understood why you went to America, and he accepted you back with open arms. Yeah,
well, I mean, because that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, when they change trainers or they leave a trainer, normally it's on bad terms, and that's what people presumed. Now, like, it was Joe that come to me. Like I said, we had the Frampton fight, then we had another fight at the end of the year against Cayetano where we were knocked out, and then it was after that he come to me and said, "Do you know what? I think you should, go over to America." Said we used to go over all the time. You built the relationship with Freddie over there, so I think it'd be good to go over there. And he come to me and said that. There was nobody had fell out. No, we still spoke, we still kept in touch, and that was that was needed at that time. And he could see that, and it was him that, like I say, we had a conversation in this. I said I'm going to go out to America early in the year just to do a bit of training, and it was him that said, "Why don't you think about speaking with Freddie and see if if he'll train you and just have a bit of a change." And at that time it was needed, and like I said, so there was no fallout, and that's why after a bit, like I said, 2019 I think it was 16 months out because I had 2 bad injuries on my arm, and obviously I thought, right, I've had enough out here now. So, and then when I come back, like I say, Joe welcomed me with me, because obviously I said there was no business. Like I said, we discussed it, and like I said, we went into that last one. And to be fair, I wouldn't have wanted to finish my career with anybody else.
The gym itself, you've been in big fights yourself, Scott, big press conferences, and with Frampton, I remember that, a couple of them actually. Paul Butler, massive opportunity to become unified champion, but he's up against a pound for pound great in Inoue. How tough is the fight going to be?
I mean, under no illusions, this is toughest fight out there. So he's, as his nickname is, the monster. He's a monster. But this is what you come into boxing for. Paul's putting in the work. Nobody was expecting Paul to beat the last fella as well as he did. So, well, first of all, they weren't expecting him to win. But not only did he win, with the performance he put in, I think it was a career best performance. So he's earned his shot. So he deserves to go in there and test himself against the best. So when people, you look at social media, and they can all have their own opinion and say what they think, but when you've trained all your life from a kid to get in there and fight the best in the division, pound for pound, that's what you come in boxing for. So you're going over to Japan, what an experience. He's travelled the world through boxing. And this is another one that he would have never gone to Japan if it weren't for this. I certainly wouldn't have ever gone to Japan if he weren't fighting Inoue. So again, what boxing does, takes you around the world, and he's earned his shot. So like I said, he's putting in the work, he's looking sharp, and he's doing everything he can to go in there and cause a massive upset.
I spoke to Joe and I said, look, but Paul hasn't been out since around April. By the time you get in the ring with Inoue, it'll be 8 months. Did you consider having kind of a warm-up? And Joe was like, nope. Paul's been in the gym ever since, and this is what boxing is about. This is what Paul wants, is to become a unified champion. Yeah,
it is, and this is the thing. Paul's always in the gym, and again, he's fighting to be unified champion. Yeah, it's a massive ask. It's a massive task, but whether he doesn't fear the challenge, he wants to go in there, and like I say, he's putting in the work in, and he's going to go out there and give it his all.
Tasha Jonas, looks like she gets better as she gets older.
Fine wine. Getting better with age. But it all comes with, again though, listen to Natasha's quality. And just the more experience she gets, the better she uses all the tools that she has. She just uses them better and knows how to use them better.
Clark Smith, Joe's like, this is the next boy, this is the next kid coming out of this gym to become a world champion. Quite a shy fella. Yeah. Obviously, I know he's only had one fight. He's out next week. But listen, you've been in the industry long enough. How good is he?
Very good. Joe, I've got a lot of time for Clark. And he's very level-headed, feet on the ground, and bags of talent, bags of ability. And it's just about nurturing it and bringing him along. The right speed, the right pace, and he's one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, well, we look forward to the show next week, Scott. Scott, before I let you go, obviously, just a couple other little quick topics. I know you want to jump in the shower. Obviously, big news and probably the hottest topic in boxing at the moment is obviously Conor Ben's failed drug test ×2. So he didn't fail one, but he failed obviously 2 tests. From what you've read, from what you've seen, kind of as an ex-fighter, as a coach now, what's kind of your thoughts and analysis?
I mean, failing one, yeah, it's bad enough anyway. You don't fail the test by mistake. Failing 2, then that's a piss take. Excuse the language, but no, it's there's no So people can have. Everyone's got their own opinion, but it's the people that I've had an opinion on other fighters that have failed, but all of a sudden, because they know Conor, he wouldn't do anything like this. It's got to be contamination. This, but they were very vocal about other fighters that have failed test, but now someone they know and someone that they believe dedicated and everything like that, it's a contamination. I don't buy it for 1 minute. And obviously, being around the sport, being around the industry, he's been found out and that's it. You're knowledgeable. I'm knowledgeable. Things don't creep in your system by mistake.
No, of course, I do 100% agree.
It's the same thing as when they go, it's a contaminated beef or contaminated whatever it is. No, that's just a way of getting around it. It's bollocks. You know it.
100%. 100%. It's especially bringing Chris Eubank Jr. down to 157 and to be caught.
The thing is, right, and this is why people won't say things and people don't give their honest opinion, because when you speak out and you say your honest opinion, I mean, I could be wrong in what I'm saying here. Yeah, I don't believe I am. But they don't want to say something that's going to annoy someone, which is then going to shut the door on getting opportunities for their fighters or getting opportunities. And that's the reason why all of a sudden everyone keeps quiet. I mean, I don't speak about it. If you wouldn't have asked me the question, I wouldn't have said anything. But you asked me the question, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. And he's, unfortunately for him, he's mistimed his cycle.
He decided not to renew his British board license. What does that say?
I mean, he's come out because apparently his dad didn't renew his license. They had some trouble or something years ago. That's it. But he's give it up before it probably took off him anyway.
If his reasons and the facts, which will come out, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks, are not valid, does an example need to be made?
No, it's not that an example needs to be made, because I mean, you look at I'd say the best fighter in the sport, but obviously Bivol beat him. But what I mean, you look at Canelo. There was no example made of him. What I mean is, and we all know, money talks. Yeah, so he should. So it's not about making an example. If the most popular fighter in the planet, in the sport for now, got that, he should be given the same ban. He shouldn't be given any more or less or whatever. He's not making an example. No, he needs whatever the suspension should be, then suspend him for that amount of time. But what you got to remember is, this is boxing. People have lost their lives in the ring. Yeah, it's not athletics. It's not swimming. It's not running. It's none of the, this is a sport where people have lost their lives in the ring, and not only that. When you look at the actual what Eubank had to boil himself down to, so that's putting him at risk. But then you're giving yourself an advantage. That's where you think.
I heard Gareth Davis on TalkSport said it was money before health. It was greed before health. Do you agree with that?
100%. And it's not about. And then I forgot about this. It wasn't about, okay, he failed the test, and again, nobody knows if he's guilty until it comes out and everything like that. So you've got to do it through the proper thing. People behind it knew, yeah, and they were keeping it quiet. Yeah, that's where it's worse for me. People knew, was still willing for this to work, and I believe it was. I don't know about this, but I believe it was Eubank's dad that let it down. I could be wrong in that, but that's what I heard.
There were rumours, unconfirmed.
That was the rumours that the rumours you heard, and the rumours that were going that it was his Joe. So what I'm saying is, imagine if that. So he's failed not only one but two, and the show still went ahead.
I know Eddie Hearn's come on and he's talked about how he wasn't in a position to cancel it because there were contracts, and Eubank agreed and he got advice from specialists. We don't know who these specialists are, but from a moral and ethical perspective...
Listen, all them contracts go void, if someone's found supposedly cheating, because, okay, go ahead with it, and something happens to one of them fighters in the ring. Then you're in the shit. Knowing that everything, because you've got a contract with sponsor, you've got a contract with this person, TV, this. No, it's nonsense.
Scott, well, we'll see what happens with this, and let's see what the outcome is and the facts. Eddie's spoken about how more detail will be released over the coming weeks, and then we'll see what the board does, what VADA do. Well, VADA can't do much because they're just a testing agency, but UCAD, let's see what they do and see if they can fix this issue.
To me, it makes no odds to me because it's irrelevant to me. And it's irrelevant to...
But isn't it important for the sport of boxing? Because at the end of the day, you're training fighters. You could have a fighter that's fighting somebody who's taking peds.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, it's irrelevant as in, because you, me, nobody has control over what happens. At the end of the day, in business, money talks. So, whatever's happened is happened. They can all deal with it, and I'll just get on with my day.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips? No, can't eat fish and chips. Still eating healthy.
I remember the days when the tickets were pick your tickets up from the chippy.
Pick the tickets up from the chippy. You get a bag of chips.
Scott, I appreciate you giving me a little bit of time. You can get up and go in the shower and give yourself a good wash, mate, because I can see you're dripping right now. But appreciate you, and we'll catch up with you next week at the show.
Yeah, perfect.
Scott Quigg, IFL TV, thank you very much.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light,
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.